everybody in YouTube land. This video is going to be, there's going to be no gameplay involved in this one. I'm going to make a different video for that, for these machines here. But this is rather a showing of everything that I've done to this machine, on the things that I've modified on it and everything. Both of these, I took the back glass, or I took the glass, the pinball playfield glass, I took those off so you can easily visually see everything on there. So anyway, in this video I'm going to show how I made the custom ramp, the lighting, explain how some of the things I added to this game and everything. But a little bit about the game itself. It's actually, it's called Hollywood Heat is the original name of the game. And gameplay is great. If you ever played the game Space Shuttle, which I love that game. Think of it as like an updated version of Space Shuttle, where you have, like, say you have like 2 extra balls, and then if you go up this ramp here, you can have like a multi-ball thing. Kind of like I said, it's kind of like the game Space Shuttle, but visually different. And the other reason why I got this off too, so right now is in this video is so you can kind of see things a little bit better. I guess with all the LEDs and stuff, it kind of washes out some things on here. So anyway, might as well just go ahead and start in the video. Start with the simple things. And by the way, the reason why I got these, it's kind of like a his and hers type thing. Actually, my father and actually my mother. So my dad, he was in. He served in Vietnam and everything, so I dedicated this one to him, made it into a Rambo pinball machine from the game called Raven. And this one here, my mom, like a long time ago, she was in law enforcement, so Miami Vice theme. So anyway, excuse the bird in the other room. That's my parrot, Mr. Peaches. He's wanting to compete now with me talking. So anyway, let's begin here. All right. Okay, the first obvious change that you'll notice is on the back glass. That's not what it originally was. It is actually this right here. That's what it originally was. That was on there, and I guess they never got the license for Miami Vice, so this is what was on the back glass. And some people like it. I personally don't care for it. So what I did was, for this here, I did actually. If you go to Pinside, I've got on there 3 different versions. So what I did was I made like the foreground with these 2 guys here. And then for the foreground, I've got them like that, and then I've got 3 different versions for the background. And I figured the color of this would probably match this the best with the theming, with the colors of this here too. So I went ahead and went with that, and did this in Photoshop, and then I kind of blurred the image up a little bit. Give it like more of like a cinematic, like movie quality, like you would see from like the 80s, or like in a photograph or anything, because these days everything's so sharp and crisp and detailed, and I didn't want that. I wanted to have that cinematic kind of TV movie touch. Same thing is what I did over there with the Rambo too, as well. So. And 2, up here in the front, just for shits and giggles, I put a little beer tab thing. So you take your little beer bottle up here, you can pop the cap off. This here, let's see, was it Marco Specialties? I got this here, this shooting rod. Problem was that it was a little bit longer than the other one. So I came up with a simple solution. I put I guess it's about a 1/2-inch spacer in here. I glued that on. Eventually I'm going to go ahead and maybe drill and tap that, make that more solid and complete on there. But by putting that on there, it's got the same distance now with the shooter rod. And so now, let's see what else. I guess I'll go ahead and kind of show you right now. I'll show you what everything looks like with the lights off on it, so you can kind of visually see how everything's put together. Like I said, I think that with the LEDs being on and the whole game being on or whatever, I think it kind of takes away on the camera. Camera's not the best on the visual parts of it, but I really want to show you guys on how I did everything on here, because I mean, there were so many things in this game as I thought would be great to improve on, because it seemed like some things were like, they seemed like unfinished in the game. For instance, for this ramp shot up here, it just comes up and then just lands wherever. And so I made my own little ramp up here where it comes up and then lands over in the play field over here. And I also made a little plastic topper piece like how you have on these here. I made a piece over here that fits on top, because that looked unfinished too from the game. Like I said, there were just a few things on the game. It's like I just felt like should be enhanced or just improved on. And then too, on this side here where the ball would just roll off, I figured, you know, it'd be great to put LEDs up on here, which I did. I took one of these here, that actually came with the game, and I put one on this side, and I'll show you close-ups. But I put LEDs. There's a thing that you can buy off of Amazon where it's like an angled bracket, aluminum bracket, and you can put your LEDs in there. Actually, I've done that for all my railings. So when I come inside the house or whatever during the nighttime, all the railing and stuff is all lit up with LEDs. So anyway, I'll show you more about that. So I'm just kind of right now just giving a general video right now, the beginning part of it, of how everything was done. So oh yeah, too, on the back glass. So like all your decals and stuff that I added to this game, including the back glass, I had a company called Fast Signs, where they make vinyl graphics like signs, stickers, all other stuff for companies and everything. I had them make me a back glass for this, damn it, I can't think. for the translight, for the translucent, so it's like see-through, so when I turn this on, it basically shows through, and like the same thing what they did with that one over there too. So anyway, big shout out to them, because this would not have been finished if they didn't have that service that they provided. So yeah, so anyway, I guess the next thing is I guess probably turn it on here, and well, actually, you know what? Let me show you all the other things that I did and how I did it, and then after that, then I'll go ahead and turn the lights on, and then you see everything as the end result. So anyway, let me show you that here real quick. Okay, I guess the first thing I'll start out with is with the ramp. Now this is what was originally in the game. Just this little ramp comes up, and then this plastic here, whoops, all this and all this here, that was it from the game. They didn't have this ramp. So what I did was, it's going to look kind of hokey, but so here's this piece. This was actually, if you can imagine, and you want to try this on your own, it was a piece that looked like this all together. Okay, a while back I bought a box full of just like random ramps and everything. So I tore that up a little bit, And what I did too was I cut little angles on here, and also I used a heat gun. So what I do is I'd heat it up, get it where it's hot, but not too hot to where it would discolor the plastic, but make it to where it was like malleable, so I could move these to the sides. So when you go up on your ramp, it's not really going to hit this. If it does hit and it does break off, it still doesn't affect the gameplay at all. But like I said, so far everything's worked out great with that. And then up here, when I got up to this top part up here, once again I took a heat gun and curved that over so that when the ball comes up, every time one thing, it lands on that plastic up here, so the ball will hit this. It's got another surface, so if the ball ever falls down, it doesn't. This whole plastic ramp doesn't drop down at all. It will not do that. It'll, because you got another surface that's below it that keeps it up, so to speak. I hope I'm making sense on that. And try to get more detailed on here. Now, if you look closely too, with the Hollywood heat, or the Miami Vice, or whatever you want to call it, you can see how these got points on the tops of them. One here, and then, well, you can't, hard to see, one up there. Right, the center one. Get a shot of that. I can't. Well, anyway, there's a screw for the middle part. The reason, so instead of replacing these and putting screws in there on this plastic thing, what I used was I took, you see right here, I took 2 sleeves. I cut one where I had like serrated cuts in it, and by putting the serrated cuts into that on one piece, you basically can slide it into the other sleeve. So on the plastic piece itself, you got one, on one side you got the one sleeve, and on the other side you got the top sleeve. So when you press it together, it holds the plastic piece or whatever. You got that little hole opening, and then all you gotta do is let that reside. Like on this here, it just sits on top of on the pointed part of it. And you got the one screw that's in the middle, so it holds both sides down. So you're not really having to change out anything on the play field in terms of the pins that are holding the rubber on there. So that was a fun little solution that I came up with. The other thing too on the ramp, I don't know if you can see here on the side here, it's got the little hole. So when the ball comes down, it rolls down over onto here, and then it comes out here. Well, there's a little trick with this little part here. Like I said, if the ball comes up partially and it comes back down, it'll hit this and it'll roll off. And so and just cutting a hole on the side, that's not going to fly, because what happens is if there's not enough speed and it comes down, it'll just stop there. So what I did was, I don't have the right screwdriver here, but you take a Craftsman, right, with a bald end. This one here is more flatter, I guess, but like I said, an older Craftsman that's got a bald end, kind of like where it looks like a pinball, right? So what I do is I take a heat gun, right, get it hot, not too hot again, so you don't start discoloring and all the other stuff and start melting the plastic itself. And then you push on it, and when you do that, like for me, what I did was I took it and then I pushed down a little bit at an angle. And what that does is, instead of it just being an edge on there, it's got a rolled edge. So if the ball lands on the side, it curves down. It's got a radius on it. So if it ever gets to that point, it doesn't just stop. It'll roll off and then down the ramp. And I say it works out perfectly, flawlessly. And let's see. Okay, now the gun here. The gun I got off of excuse me. I got off of eBay. It's just a little toy gun, but oh, one more thing too. So what I was wanting to originally do was, you could see here, I got an extra two little hole notches here. I was gonna put a micro switch that came up here, so when it landed down onto the play field, it would have the siren light come on. Basically this thing right here. So that was my plan. That was my plan, but the problem with that was it was taking too much away, and it was actually obstructing the view. So I end up scrapping that idea for, so if it landed on a long micro switch with a pad on it, it would cause a police light thing that come on top of the back box. But like I said, it took away from the viewing point, so I ended up scrapping that idea. So this idea I love because it's clear. You can see the playfield action. You see the flipper. You see all up in here. You can see, well, the trees kind of hide a little bit where the ball is going up, but you know what you're trying to do when you're trying to go up into that hole and everything. So like I said, and that's why I decided to scrap that, and that's why this thing here has got the two holes, because I drilled those out for focus. So I drilled those two holes out for the micro switch to be hooked up on there. But like I said, I didn't after playing it, I didn't like that. Like I said, it took too much away from the viewing of the flippers and in the playfield area. So the clear, I think I made the more wiser choice by putting the clear on here, so you can still see everything being played in action. And let's see. Okay, back to the gun. So what I did on this was, like I said, I ordered this gun from off of eBay, and just a plastic toy gun. Basically, I'd split it in half, and so what I did too was I cut all this out here, so the ball comes down in there. You can still see the ball going through the lane. So I did that, and then hold on a second. Let me show you another video or another clip here. Hold on a second. I was going to use this other piece from here, so you would have dueling guns on there, but I decided not to, because once again they started obstructing the view of this lane here, and it pretty much would be nothing left of the gun, you know what I'm saying? So, but it was supposed to look like that, lay over there like that, and you can see I went ahead and did all the little extra little things, made the spacers and everything for it, and like I said, tried it out, and like a little bit of trial and error. I mean, looked cool, looked bitchin'. You got you got dueling guns on there, just ablazing on there. I thought that was pretty slick, but then, like I said, I was like, nah, it's like it's taking too much away from the action, from seeing what's going on the playfield. So, like I said, I end up scrapping that. So that's one thing you need to consider whenever you're building, or not building, but if you're just even like adding like little toys or anything like that. You gotta keep in mind, you want to make sure that you don't um, take too much away from the view of the game, because remember, it's all about the gameplay. It's not the toys and everything else is like a little bit extra, you know. So you just gotta keep that in mind. You know, is this gonna one thing you gotta ask in the back of your mind is this going to uh, affect the gameplay for me seeing things on the playfield that are really important to see. So um, yeah, since the lights are off on this too, and like I said, I'll have the lights on here a little bit later in the video. But if you could see this here that I added, this is actually, whoops, see this here, the heat is on. This is what was which is actually part of the game. That was part of it. I took one of those and then I put it over. I put it over here. Took the sticker off. I was trying to come up with something else for like a new line to put underneath there. I was like, just best to leave it alone. I haven't figured out yet if I want to put like maybe like a little mirror or something on there to even shine the light out even further. But I mean, it does its job already with the LEDs on there. So anyway, you can see. So all you do is you flip it around, and sorry. I end up trying a few different things. Like I said, this here is a little bit of a boo boo there. I kind of cut more of an angle down in there. I just wanted to make sure that when you lift it up, it don't tear the sides on this stuff here on the artwork, all on the sides. So I did a little bit of trimming on that. Sorry, my phone went erratic there for a second. Hold on. All right, sorry about that. Ran out of space on my other phone, so I got the other phone now. Yeah, so yeah, you can see I added my own custom little border sides here. I guess is what you call them. So what I did was, I don't know if you can see in the back. The back is the original. The back is the original part of it. So I ended up finding another decal that has that, and so the place that I had this done at, I mean, I gave them dimensionally what I was wanting, and somehow some way the lengths got screwed up, but that's okay. Like I said, I can work around things, you know, which is no big deal. Actually, it came out pretty good, regardless. So I took, like I said, that back piece, and then I cut one in half. I took another one, cut one in half. You can see the Ocean Boulevard in the right hand corner there below, like right in the center where the arch is there. By the way, my dad did that. He water jetted the St. Louis arch thing. So I kind of incorporated that in there, kind of represent the Lou. So, but anyway, if you look over here, right there, you can see the Ocean Boulevard there. Oops. Right there. And then on the other side, you can see where it ends. Whoops. Right there. And anyway, so beyond the Ocean Boulevard, you can see there's the other custom graphics that I added on the side that go down the rest of the way on both sides. And then also too, like I don't know if you've ever seen, if anybody has ever uh, seen the Miami Vice show, but they would have like the Lamborghini versus the Ferrari. So I put the little cars, put them in there, velcroed them up, put them in there too in the game, um, and then changed out a few of the stickers up here. It's got the Miami Vice logo, and then instead of the guys or whatever that are on the in here, I put the chicks on the stripper poles on there too as well. Um, yeah, too. By the way, if you guys ever want to do any of this stuff yourself, I've got I've got it all up on Pinside where I mean you'll have to do the work yourself where you take the images and get somebody like Fast Signs or some other place that does vinyl stickers, the adhesive stickers and stuff. You'd have to have them make all that, you know, transfer that to vinyl and stuff, and to make a translate. So, but it's all up on Pinside, and like I say, I give out dimensionally too on there, like the dimensions, like the diameters of everything. So when they go to scale everything, if they need to scale anything up into their computer, they have the exact dimensions that they can put in there. So it's like real easy for them to get the dimensions right for everything. And by doing so, they can print a lot of stuff onto one sheet, you know, on most of it, and then save yourself some bucks too on that too. So when you're doing it, you know, you make everything save yourself a few dollars too by doing that too. They can plot and kind of put things like, say they could take the little pop bumper cap thing there that design. They could take these little images of the strippers. They could put those on there all in one thing. So, you know, but yeah. So, yeah, a few other things too. Kind of hard to see here, but yeah, actually, I took an empty bullet casing and machined a little bullet tip on there, and actually got that in there for part of the visuals too. You see the bullet right there, and then the little trees that you see, they're the same thing as these that are over here in the Raven Rambo game or whatever. Got those at Michael's. This here, Michael's store too as well. This here was laying around. I don't know what it was, but I just kind of cut that up and made it into like a little hut, like a tower station. And then, sorry, we're going a little bit off tangent here. I just wanted to kind of show you on this one too what I did to it all. This little knife here, and that grenade way back there was part of a little toy Rambo toy kit. It was like a knockoff toy kit thing that I bought off of eBay, and see if you look closely on the knife, it's like floating. But what I did was I took this here, the plastic itself. I took like a clear plastic knife, you know, plasticware, and I cut and trimmed that down, and then I drilled and put the screws in there for it, so it doesn't take away too much, you know. But that was a simple solution, just good old plasticware for doing that, for tying that in. And let's see what else. Yeah, by the way, too, Fast Signs, they did the graphics too for me on this here. They went ahead and printed all the graphics you can see on the pop bumpers. Also for the back glass too, you can see they did that too as well. This here, I wanted something a little bit different for the scoring. The thing I don't like about the scoring is on both of these machines is that the the display is like real small, right? So I got the idea where you get those things where you have a hard time reading, and basically I guess it's called with a Fresnel lens. So that's what's in there. It's basically so it magnifies, makes everything bigger. So as you're playing the game, you can see the score on the back on the in the box, where everything's like twice as big on the lettering stuff. And I put the little sharpshooter thing on the center part of it, like a sniper. So just for like a nice little added effect, like you're looking into a scope and you're actually seeing the numbers bigger on there, just for a fun little effect. And like I said, I got that off of um, I think it was either eBay or Amazon. I can't remember, but it was like $20 or something. And all I did was I had to, like, on the sides, end up trimming it a little bit, and then I added some little soft rubber on there. It's like two screws are basically holding it in on top, so like real tiny screws. So if I ever need to take that out, real simple, like maybe less than 5 minutes to take out, and then you got two little holes on the top, and like I said, it's no big deal. Like I said, it's not hurting nothing. And yeah, so I just wanted to show this one too. I'm kind of going off on a tangent a little bit, but since I'm here right now, kind of showing everything. And yeah, it's like I said, it's fun to do. I'm really enjoying this, just kind of modifying things and kind of adding things to these games. And so anyway, so let's get back to the other one, this one here. And I guess I'll go ahead and I'll turn this on and let you see everything. And oh, one other thing I need to show you too. Yeah, that side piece down in there where you got with the LEDs and stuff, on the top part of that, you can see that's this right here. You can see. So what you do is you put your LED strip in there, and then you put a few screws, and you screw it upside on the side, and then it comes down like that. So it shines down on the playfield, and I'll show you here in a minute what that looks like. And then if you want, it's got the plastic cover. See how it's curved and everything. And then basically it slides onto there, and it kind of snaps in place over that. So if you want to have a real professional finished look on it, and then if you ever have a problem, you can just easily pop that off. But this is, like I said, this is like an Amazon product. I'll have to see if I can try to find what it's under, and maybe get a link on that. But yeah, it really helps on that side, and you'll see here in a minute where when I turn everything on, everything is cool. And hold on a second. Another thing too, with the wiring itself, instead of me just hard wiring into the existing wires that are there for, like, say, for this here, and then for the little lighting up here, and then more of the lighting up here too. Oops. More of the lighting up there too. What I did was I put that on a separate adapter, and I'll show you this here first in a second here. Hold on. Yeah, phone's acting all crazy on this one too. Hope this one works too. So this is what I've got right here. This is for the extra lighting. Instead of wiring it up to the existing wires to make it all work, for the lighting part of it, I didn't want to do that, So anyway, this here is what I'm using for the other LEDs right there. Hopefully that focuses. Come on. Here we go. Here's the box that it comes in. Let's see. Yeah, I use these. I use these all the time for anything with LEDs. These work great. I've never really had a problem with these adapters at all. They're great for homebrew projects too, for lighting and other things too as well. Besides just adding LED lights. So the other thing I want to show you too is which one's the ground and which one's the positive on here. And yeah, so hard to see on here. Come on. I don't think I'm gonna be able to pick that up on the camera. These phones, man, I'm telling you, they give me troubles here lately. Well, you can see the one here where it's got all the numbering and everything on there. See the minus on there? Come on. Well, everything that has the numbering and the minus on there, that is actually your ground. That is your minus side. The other side that has no markings on it whatsoever, that is your positive side. So just keep that in mind. So when you're wiring it, because if you wire it the wrong way, you're gonna blow out the LEDs. So I'm just kind of giving you a heads up on that. So you got to be careful. And anyway, I love that. I love this product. Never had a problem with these. And like I said, anytime. Like I said, this one here, I don't know what else I'm gonna be doing with it. Like I said, there might be maybe a few more things probably later in the future. Who knows? You know, like I can't leave nothing alone. So, so I'm hopefully I'm done here. And then the last thing here is this thing here is what I made up, and so what it's got inside there, it's got a thing where it's an LED, right? And it's kind of hard to see, but it takes batteries, right? So if it ever goes bad, you can take the batteries out, or you can take the LED out, the lighting out, and swap it if you want to. So hold on. The tube itself for this here looks familiar, don't it? It's from Harbor Freight. Basically, I took the cap and I cut it down, and then on the belt sander, I made my own little top part for the cap so the cap would fit on top. But anyway, back to this LED. So what happens is when the ball hits this, I got it to where it's snug but not too tight. I want to have a little bit of give to it. And what happens is that LED that's on the inside, it senses the motion. It doesn't see anything. It knows when it's being detected with movement, with motion. You know, so when it gets hit, it triggers the lights to come on where it flashes blue and red with the whole cop light thing on there. So it gives like a real nice, cool effect. And yeah, like I said, and then what I like about it too is batteries go bad, take it out. You know, replace LED goes bad, take it out. There's no wiring down in the play field, none of that crap. And I think there could be a use for something like this too, because in other games, like maybe somebody doing a homebrew game or something, they want to have something where the ball kind of goes through a whole bunch of little poles or something like that, like this. It could create a whole little sequence where the lights would like kind of light up as it's going along. I mean, there's like a whole bunch of new uses that could be used for in terms of incorporating it into the gameplay. Now with this here, I guess roughly it increases your chances. I want to say probably about 20% more that you're actually going to get the ball to land over here. When it hits off of here, I kind of tested that out. I just put my finger on this and kind of watching the ball roll down, kind of checking multiple times, seeing seeing where the ball goes, because of the randomness. I just want to see how much, and so it actually kind of adds to the gameplay itself too, because like I said, I put that in there so it gives you a little bit of a better chance of having the ball wind up over here, but every now and then it'll still come down and drain off of here. So, like I said, just a little nice little added touch. And like I said, I was a little disappointed that I could not up here put that micro switch up there and have it to where you had like have that big siren, the big light on top, the little cop light flashing on top of the machine. I was a little disappointed that I couldn't have that, like I said, because that micro switch took away too much of the viewing, and so I still got it down here. So then, which is like I said, it's cool. So if it lands in here, you'll get that little like a little cop little flashing warning light on there. So nice little touch, So so yeah, let me go ahead and turn this on here real quick, and let you see what everything looks like, and then after that, then what I'm going to do is a little bit later on, come out of time today, but maybe in probably I want to say probably in a few days, maybe I'll set it up and just have a video where it's just straight gameplay of everything, so you can kind of see everything visually, what's going on in action for this machine, and then for this one too as well. I can't remember if I made one where it showed all the gameplay happening in this one. This one's a fun game too. It's a tough game, but once you figure things out, I mean, a lot of people crap on this game, the original Raven game, but I like it though because it's well, for one thing, it's really challenging. Like these little targets here can be a real pain in the butt, and but like I said, sometimes I like hard games, and sometimes I like real easy, simple games. Ones that ones that just tell you, hey, you do a few basic things, and this what happens. I like those type of games too as well. The hard games are cool too, but then they get, well, personally for me, I think they get a little bit too complicated with, hey, do this, do this, do this, do this, and I'm kind of more in the, like, say maybe like late '70s, like early '90s type of pinball guy. I kind of like the way how those all play. You know what I mean? It's like you get enough things to do, but not too many things to do. And the other thing too is that I don't like how the new ones, they just, like I said, they're just so overcomplicated, and if something goes wrong, it's going to cost you an arm and a leg, or if you have to have somebody repair it, if you can't do it yourself, and yeah, I don't know. Me, like I said, I'm kind of more old fashioned, and electromechanicals, I love those, but I don't like working on anything that's AC though. I just I don't want to kill myself working on one of them. So unless I convert one into DC, that would be fine. But and there's some of those old games I love too. I mean, there's a few of those that I like too as well. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and, enough rambling here. I'm going to go ahead and turn the lights on the Miami Vice one here, and let you kind of see how everything looks. And I've got some other like short videos and stuff of it being, I'm doing like a little walk around on it and stuff. But like I said, on this one here, I'll kind of show you like with the lighting and everything up close, so you kind of really get an idea of it. And like I said, it's real simple to do. It's just a matter of just buying the parts and doing a little bit of modifications here and there. And like I said, the only biggest challenge that I really had was with that ramp, because I wanted to make that aesthetically looking pleasing, and function, and don't have no problems with it. And yeah, like I say, once again, if you know what this is, I have no idea what the ramp ramp was originally was, because like I said, I got hundreds of ramps, so just extras for things that, like if I build like a homebrew game or something, it just I'll use those pieces and modify and make them whatever. But this here was part of that altogether. And like I said, I cut this part down. I took that off, and like I said, this was more spaced out further. So if you happen to know what that is, let me know on that too. Like, and maybe somebody can make and manufacture that for other people. If they want to have that in their game too as well. And like I said, and the thing that really helps contribute to helping this here, like I said, I've got I got 3 poles that are holding this up on here onto the plastic, and then back here, this is holding up onto the other plastic piece there. You can see. So it all works great, man. It works awesome. Oh, and then the other thing I forgot to mention too is, so when I did the heat gun, I moved this. Whoops. What the hell that did? It accidentally hit the phone there. So when I heated this up here to move this in to shape it so it rolls off onto here. Also on this bottom part here, I took a heat gun to that, and then I have it where instead of it being straight, I have it at a little bit of an angle. So no matter what, when it comes over here, it's going to come and it's going to drop right down here in the middle in here. So keep it. I don't know. Phone's not focusing. Hold on a second. There we go. So anyway, so it keeps the ball up here, further up here, so it gives you a chance to use your flippers, and it also keeps it from just instantly draining. So you got time to play around up here, all up in this area. So I hope this is helping out somebody. I don't know. Like I said, I'm just kind of showing what I did on mine. And anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and start it up here. Hold on a second. LEDs. There we go. You can see I got the extra wiring. That was for that's why that one LED came on first, was because I plugged those directly in and started up the game. But you can see, so like I said, I had the colors match the back, like how the back glass is there. See how the coloring it all is there. Try to make it look nice and uniform and neat. And same thing with the play field. So I've got a couple of spotlights, so they're shining onto the ramp. The ramp is a custom too, so original is like red, and hated that, so gotta have one that's purple. And anyway, you can see the lights kind of really shine up in here. So as you're playing, excuse by the way, it's still got a little bit of wood chips on the play field for drilling and all that stuff. I still got to clean that up a little bit. Make it spotless, I guess. Really don't hurt anything much, but anyway, you can see all that. So I think sometimes too much is too much. So all the little lighting here with like the like the pinball and all the 2 times, 3 times, all that crap on here. Those are just regular bulbs on that. All the other parts, ah shit, it's like that one went out. Yeah, damn it, got a bulb out already. Well, on these here, like on these and all these here, I got LEDs lighting on the other parts of it. So yeah, I gotta fix that bulb back there. I don't know what the hell's going on with that one. Like I said, that one just went out. So never-ending battle with light with the bulbs on here. So, but anyway, so now if you look, you can see that LED strip, the LED strip. This is that angled piece that I was showing you where I painted it black, and it's angled down. So then it shines on the whole playfield over here on this side of it. It comes all the way down, glows. And then not only that, it kind of glows up on here too. So when you're playing, you can kind of see everything on that. And then, yeah. And then too, when you shoot the ball, it up here, I got a lighting blue instead of like red or whatever. I put that blue underneath there. So it looks like he's putting a bullet hole up in there. You know, kind of cool. But yeah, like I said, I think it turned out pretty good with everything. And yeah, unfortunately, I got to take that apart just to get to that one bulb. Damn it. That sucks. Anyway, so yeah, I'm gonna go. Like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and in a few days, I guess, I'll make another recording and just nothing with the gameplay on it. And like I said, yeah, so you can see everything in action. Then and then also with this too, you can see that in action too as well. Anyway, that's about it on this. And like I said, I'll probably do a gameplay action on this one too, so you can see how this one is. Like I said, this one's a fun game too. I mean, a lot of people hate it because I think it's too hard or whatever. Once you get the feel of it, it's actually pretty much it is a fun game, you know. So, and then this one here is a fun game too. This, if you like Space Shuttle, basically, it's kind of like the Space Shuttle game, basically, essentially, but different visually looking and different as to where your multi-ball all starts at. And this feature up here is so cool. So when you hit that ball up there, it kind of bounces around, knocks around up in there, and hits that pop bumper. That is so cool. That was this game is really cool. If you ever see one in a arcade or pinball place or whatever, play it. Like I said, just even the original one. Like I said, a lot of fun. It's just sad that people overlook it because that original translite that's on the back or whatever, you know, it looks like crap, you know. So, and then people just like, I don't want to mess with that, you know what I mean? But like I say, you just kind of change out a few things, and I think it turns out amazing, you know. So anyway, that's just me. So, but yeah, and then also too, when I do that next video where me playing the games and all that stuff on here, I will be showing it too the same way as on here for both of them. I'll be showing them without the back glass or without the glass on there because it reflects so damn bad and everything. You can't see nothing, right? You know what I mean? So yeah, that's how I'll probably do it. So anyway, take care and have a good day.